Hey, welcome to another episode of Comics and Sweet Tea. So awesome to have you guys back. Really excited about today's show. This will be his third appearance. That'll kind of give you a little hint to lay the groundwork for who you're going to see here in just a few minutes. Couple housekeeping things to get out of the way. Hey, we're trying to grow the channel. So, jump on, subscribe, uh, ring the bell, get the notifications. That way, when a show pops up, it sends you the little notification and you can jump on. You won't miss a thing. Go back and watch some of the old episodes. There's some really good stuff in there, some really good interviews I'm really proud of. Um, Tell your friends, spread the word. This isn't Fight Club, so I want you to tell everybody and let's grow this thing out so we can just keep getting these amazing creators on here and kind of diving into it and digging into indie comics. So this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Without further ado, one of my favorite people in indie comics, my brother from another mother, the awesome Dan the Man Price, coming at you right now to talk about the next Bigfoot Nose Karate project. And here we go. And we're away.
Hey man, what's up, dude? How are you today?
Doing good. How have you been doing, Dan?
I've been doing good. But I treat the show like Fight Club, dude. I tell no one. All right, no, I'm kidding. You know, uh, I love this show, man. I love talking to you, and I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Life is, doing better. The hits a couple
Good.
speed bumps
Good.
recently, and unfortunately, it was happening during the campaign, so that is what that is. But you push forward and you keep going, and we're just getting by, man. Campaigns rolling, and
Yeah.
doing great. Yeah, doing great, man.
Well, dude, as usual, Bigfoot is just kind of steamrolled through Kickstarter, and by the time this thing airs, we'll have a few hours left. So,
Right.
you guys need to get on this thing. Need to get on it right now. I'm telling you, this is an awesome project. Dan's going to tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah,
And, we're going to dive into this thing, and you guys know the rundown on this. God knows what me and Dan are going to talk about before the end of this thing.
for
But,
sure.
Dan,
Thanks,
let's
man. I
go
love it.
ahead. Let's kick this thing off. Kind of give us, the birth of this next project and where it come from.
Right. So the birth of this project was to give me a break. The That's where it really started off. It was, Casey and I, we've been working on Casey Allen, my co-writer on the main storyline, had been kicking out around the idea for a while of doing side stories within between books. It was for a couple of reasons. One, to let me breathe a little bit, and number two,
Right.
to peel back the onion a little bit further as to what was going on with the character of Bigfoot. We've likened the book to Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill with a twist. That's how we've always done it. Now take that. I want you to add a nice chunk of Highlander to it. Okay,
Oh, hell yeah.
as we explore backwards into the world of Bigfoot, or as we've named him in the book, Benny. And the sorry, I'm getting text messages. So if you can hear Back to the Future chimes, that wasn't my. Anyway, so we're exploring backwards, and we take this book all the way back to feudal Japan, and we get to see Benny, and going through a mission that he has to take care of, where he has to take down a Mizuchi, a water dragon, that is plaguing this town, and we get to see more of this character. I mean, it's not a zero issue. It's not an origin story. It's a slice of time within this character's life. And so if you really think about it, there is cultures that have had Bigfoot. in their life under, in their lore in some form or
Right.
fashion, whether they go by the name Sasquatch or they go by the name Yeti or they even go by the name Hinagon. And that is the Japanese equivalent to a Bigfoot. And so, where there's been sightings, throughout generations. What if there weren't a different one for each area? What if it was just one guy?
Awesome.
It's our guy. So,
Fantastic concept. I love it.
thank you so much. Yeah, we're having a blast. So this story is actually, where in the main storyline, I'm, co-writing with Casey and drawing the book, drawing, coloring, doing all that stuff. This book is actually being written by Casey Allen, with assists from me, and
Okay.
then the artwork is being done by Adam Caswell, who is the cover artist on our deluxe editions for issue 1 and 2. So it's a different creative team in a sense. I mean, while I'm involved, Casey's taken the helm of this book and really running with it. So we wanted to do these prequel books, but we also wanted to do something where Casey got to take more of a driver's seat. I'm kind of a tyrant to work with, and so I have like days that I
No,
want
no.
things. No, no, no way could Dan be a control freak. Never, never. Anyway, so this allows Casey to, flex his muscles as a writer because I know where we're going with the main story.
Right.
We just need it. We need it in quick beats so we can get through it all. If you've noticed in issue 2, especially, we bounce. We bounce. We're in a
Yeah.
situation. We go to another scene. We cut to another scene. We cut to another scene. We cut to another scene. There's not long, 10 pages of one scene. No, 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 no. We got a lot to cover and we need
Right.
to make it all flow. We got to make it flow.
Yeah.
The story, this is Casey's pace. This is Casey's, idea really where I came in was just really the ending. I read the plot lines and, read the script and, edited what I felt like needed to be edited. This is Casey's baby and he's really killed it. And the addition of Adam, oh, forget about it, man.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother mentality, a whole different thought process, a whole different artistic expression to what I do, where
Right.
where I have
Adam's
a little bit more.
incredible. He really is.
Oh, he's the detail work and his black and white is just incredible. And so it's, traditional work, beautifully done. He's an incredible artist. And we get to really see him just go to town. It's just different sensibilities, and I think that this story lends itself to the sensibilities of Adam's artwork rather than what I do. I mean, frankly.
Yeah.
So we get to keep me and Casey keep rolling with the main storyline. But if this book is a success, I'd love to give it another shot and do another side story, and
Right.
be able to show more of this character while we're running through and doing the story, the main storyline. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely. And the concept that you brought up at the very beginning that, what if Bigfoot and all these other cultures were Benny? I mean, that sets
Yeah,
the stage to just blow it wide open. You could
yeah.
do any time, any area, and it's wide open. I love it. And
Oh, the amount of richness in the soil for this character, so to speak.
oh
I
yeah,
mean, we can grow anything we want, to use the farming analogy there. I mean, we can do whatever we can do it. We have such fertile ground to play with, and this
right.
just cements that in a little bit further. So, yeah,
I tell you what, kind of tell the guys, some of the special things that you're going to have for this campaign for this Kickstarter. Is there any kind of artwork or anything they can jump on?
yeah.
Any?
So we have the Canva, not the Canvas commission, just the sketch cover commissions this go around. You
Right.
can get a sketch cover of Bigfoot done by Adam Caswell. for the low price of $100, and you also get a reader copy of the comic to go along with it, as well as as not sketch covers, as well as mini prints and the stretch goals that we're going to be having as well. So there's we've got trading cards, and we've got a sticker for our stretch goals thus far, and we've got so it's cool, and we've got some good things coming out. So you can do the commission. You can also do you can win the championship belt, or so to speak.
I've
You don't have
seen
to
that.
win to purchase that. Yeah, you can do you can get the Bigfoot Knows Karate Fiends World Championship, is our high tier, and you get a mess of comics to go along with that, as well as the belt signed by me. You can do, we've got our deluxe edition, which is cool because we have our regular edition $8. We have our deluxe editions 15. It's the same story, but you're also getting an art gallery done by our Draw This in Your Style winners. There'll be 10-page gallery from them. I think I'm going to have a sketch or two in the background of this Mo as well. We'll just see how many pages we got left. And then we're also going to do, we're also going to do a director's commentary in the back of the deluxe edition, as well as the deluxe foil edition. So we have the deluxe, we got the regular, we got the deluxe, we got the deluxe foil. Covers are done by Adam and Andy Bloor and Dennis Valencia, respectively. So really great work. Yeah, you can even get blank sketch covers in this campaign. You can get the blank cover combo. You get two covers, $15. Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
Can't
That's
beat
an
that.
amazing price point. Yeah. So if you like sketch covers, that's a great one to get in on a low price tier. And yeah, I'm stoked. I'm absolutely stoked. We've got some good stuff.
Yeah, man, I've seen all the covers, and those guys just absolutely killed it. They always bring their
Oh,
A
they
game to anything they do,
oh
and
yeah.
they went a step above, I think, with this campaign, which just,
Oh yeah.
it's kind of paying it forward to you too, Dan. I mean, you've come on the scene a few years ago. I met you early in the game on before the launch of the first Kickstarter, and you've
Mhm.
been just a constant inspiration and a friend to me. And we've been through the trenches together, so to speak.
Yeah,
You know,
man. Oh yeah. We're, I mean, uh and we talked a little about this before the show started, but when coming back to comics, I did comics for about 7 years and took a long break. And for a myriad of reasons, just got married, was just
right?
tired of the industry, just had some snags and bumps and things that just didn't make it fun anymore. And then the death of my creative partner, and it just cemented that I was done. I was done. I missed him so much, and that screwed me up really hard. It
Right.
was only because of lockdown that I came back to doing comics, and it was because my wife said to me, "Why don't you make a comic book again?" She had no idea what she was getting into. The And it was like starting all over. The internet was completely different in terms of social media and how you used it. Kickstarter was in
Right.
its infancy when I was doing comics, back in the day. And so Instagram wasn't even a thought for me. And, I came in and doing drawing and just posting drawings on Instagram in like 2017. And I don't even know where I'm going with this now, but I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, go
In like
with it, man.
2017, I started drawing Bigfoot sketches in like 2017, 2018, maybe a little earlier. It was like 2016 when I got back to Instagram and started drawing digitally. And um, and it was just like I started finding a groove. I was just drawing like fan art stuff, drawing
Right.
whatever, just having fun, and drawing concept artwork for stories that I was fleshing out. Whether it been 93 AD, which is my image, like homage
Homage.
piece homage
Yeah.
piece that I was working on. And then I was doing what else? I was working on Hit, which is a project I'll pick up later, back when I'm done with Bigfoot's first arc. And then I was playing with all these different concepts, and just the Bigfoot knows karate thing just kind of stuck. it was seemed like the most original thing I could come up with, and it was just different and interesting, and just started rolling with it. And then started meeting you. I met you. I met Dee Hausner, and uh, Dennis Valencia, and Jason
Yeah,
Farrow, and
the
all
list.
those
Yeah,
guys. Yeah, the
all
list
the,
starts
our little
going.
corner.
All these guys and ladies, Kamorian King. Just so many different people. Cat the Hale Gamer. I mean, all these amazing folks. I mean, the list goes on, and it was like everybody just kind of took each other in. I mean, the dude from Super Slender Chronic Rangers, like and I. Dork Art Studios, Mike from Dork Art Studios. I mean, Mike was one of the Cam Morning King and Mike were two of the first people I met on Instagram, years ago. And then it's like
Yeah,
watching them get to grow and to do what they're doing now, and watching you and watching all the other people that are coming up together. It's like Instagram has just given us this amazing, amazing platform to not only get our work out there, but to get, to meet contemporaries and, colleagues, or, just other creators, or whatever you want to call them, and which basically morphed into friendships. I mean, that's how I met
exactly.
Casey. I met Casey through Instagram and over the Comic Jam. I started doing work on the Comic Jam, and which is an online comics workshop for people who are wanting to dip their toes into making comics. You can make one-page comics randomly put together with writers and artists, and it's absolutely incredible. And that's how I met Casey. I've never met Casey in the flesh, but I've met Casey, in over Instagram. We talk on the phone all the time. But this is
Right,
all led to this moment where we're at now. You know what I mean? And it's like
right.
when, you and I both running with LKC, lesser known comics, and all the great people we've met over there, whether it's Mark or Doug or whoever. I mean, just so many good dudes, Brandon, Jay, I can keep going, all just amazing
Oh yeah,
people.
the list is
And
just
ah,
it's so long we can't even get. We would spend the rest of the fucking show going over the list.
oh yeah.
But yeah,
So
you mentioned
yeah,
lesser
go ahead.
known. Kind of
Yeah,
walk us through that your journey into becoming part of lesser known comics.
sure. Um, I had met Mark and Doug Knight before Doug was with Lesser Known. We met over an Indie Comics Dispatch episode. We were all three of us were guests on the show. And I liked Mark right away. Doug too. But I liked Mark right away. I just thought he was just a cool, relaxed individual, and who was pumping out some really cool stuff. I mean, he was pumping out so many titles when they were telling me this, and this was back then. I mean, they were putting out these mini comics, and they were putting out bundles, and it
Right.
was like, what the hell? I mean, it was just so cool. He was in his first year pumping out his 12th book. It was like, what are y'all doing over there? What's the secret sauce? What are you sniffing?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, how do you get the energy to do all that? But it was incredible. And then Mark and I just would keep talking, here and there from time to time, and just getting more and more aware of each other, I guess. And then we met in a convention, after I finished my first book and it went to Kickstarter, and I finished Kickstarter, and reviews came in and stuff like that. There were some really great people. Um, that had, some small publishers and stuff that had come by, and hey, we're interested in doing something. And it was like, and I was honored, I was absolutely
Right.
honored, but I needed time. I needed time to figure things out, where we're going, what we're doing, and I also have Casey to consider too. We've always,
Right.
we're team in this, I mean, and so we just took our sweet ass time, figuring all that stuff out. Just work focusing on the book and getting it where it needed to be and that sort of thing. But I met Mark, face to face. I don't remember if it was Baltimore or Houston, or where we met up face to face for the first time, but we've hung out now like four times face to face, gotten, hung out all weekend, just having a good time through conventions and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's been incredible. I mean, like his friendship and guidance to not just myself, but so many other creators. I mean, lesser known comics is there to nurture creators and their creative projects. And that's how I take it. It's just a band of complete misfits, doing
No,
absolutely,
style and a misfit
abs-
toy.
absolutely doing books that are so different from one another. I mean, it's incredibly diverse in its creativity, and I'm blown away by that because nothing really fits with each other, and
Right.
that's what makes it fit.
And
That's
that's
what
what
makes it
makes it
fit.
work, you know?
Yep, yep. I mean, there's something for everyone. If you like anime, we got or manga, we got manga. If you like Victorian, not turn of the century Jack the Ripper meets supernatural type comic, we got that.
Yeah.
If you want a Bigfoot that does karate, we got that. If you want, corporate samurai story, we got that. I mean, there's just so many different things
So much.
for that book. Yeah. So honored to be a part of it. I mean, I can't say how much I'm honored to be a part of it because, yeah, I mean, Korean vampires, you know, space,
Yeah.
uh, space, uh, space bounty hunters looking for chasing sex bots. I mean, it's
Yeah.
everything. It's anything and
Got
everything you want
everything.
to. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And I tell you, you spoke about
Oh,
Mark. Go ahead.
one more thing, and another thing. As an indie creator, one thing I really appreciate about Lesser Known is they leave us the hell alone to do what we want to do with our books. And thank
Yeah.
you for that. Thank you for that, Mark. You
That's the best
allow us
part.
to be.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Just
you
stay out
allow
of
us
the
to do
way.
the things
Let
we
us
need to do.
let's do our thing. Yeah.
Can you hear the air conditioner going behind me now?
No,
Okay, perfect. And we'll keep going.
you're good.
Press on,
Yeah.
Jerry. Let's press on. Okay.
Yeah, man. You spoke about Mark though. I mean, Mark is
Yeah.
just it's hard to describe Mark. Mark is just one of those people, man. He's just magnetic. I mean, he comes into a room and just lights it up, dude. I mean,
Absolutely.
without having to do anything. He's just I don't know how to explain it really.
He's a
You know,
shepherd. He's a
he is.
shepherd who could start his own religion if he wanted to. I swear to God.
Exactly.
He could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got
He could
that
start a cult
personality.
today if he wanted to.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he stays with
No, no,
indie
no, no,
comics
no, yeah. Yeah.
because I'm
You
not
know.
I'm not
I,
the cult kind of guy. Yeah.
no, but I give him a lot of credit for his recruitment process, I'm sure. So
Oh
I'd
God.
probably be like,
Yeah.
all right,
I'd be
have a
like,
great one, but yeah, do it.
yeah.
Do it.
But Mark, yeah, I
He's great.
I haven't actually met Mark in person. I mean, we've talked multiple times, and
Right.
Mark, he's hit me up, kind of from day one, and I was like you, I needed time. I didn't
Yeah.
know exactly what I was going to do, where I was going with this. I mean, I had an idea
Yeah.
because just like your book, my book's out there on the fringes. It's completely different than anything pretty much you've seen.
Yeah.
And the more that come out of LKC, I was like, this, I could, yeah, I could see my book going there, because he was doing the exact same thing we were doing. Those on the fringe books, and like you said, they're all completely different, you know.
Great.
And Mark, this the last time he hit me up, I was like, well, give me a little more time to think about it. And I thought about it for like a month. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I kind of went through all of it and asked a lot of questions and Mark was patient with me. There was no, oh, you got to join right now. None of
No, no,
that
no, no, no.
bullshit, And he was like, he just give me the space and
Yeah.
let me take my time and make my decision. And I no regrets whatsoever. I love LKC, man. I love Mark.
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for a better leader. I mean, really.
Yeah. No, he really is great. He really is great. Thrilled to be there. You know,
Yeah.
um, absolutely thrilled to be there. So,
So tell me this.
yeah.
I think we've talked about this, maybe not on the show, but we have talked about it. Comics as a whole, as far as the big two or now big three, basically Image could be in the conversation with
Or
Marvel and DC. I mean, they're not. Yeah, they're still indie, but not really. I mean, they've become
they're
part.
creator owned. They're
Yeah,
creator owned, so it's a
yeah,
little different there.
it's a little
It's
different,
not
but
corporately owned, and that does. They're the pinnacle of indie comics. You know what I mean? That's
right.
like,
That's the
yeah,
top of the food chain for indie. Yeah,
yeah, and I have a lot of respect for Image Comics because
definitely.
they're what made me want to make comics, make my comics.
Exactly.
It didn't have to be, you just could go to Marvel or DC. It became you can make your own stuff. And
Right.
sure, when I was 16 years old, my stuff was derivative of all their stuff, which was derivative of X-Men. But
I think
that's not really the
everybody
point.
in our age group was that exact same way.
Yeah,
We had
absolutely.
our rip offs of Image Comics, and
Oh
because
yeah,
they
you had your
opened the
big
door.
guy and your animal and your leader and the
Yeah,
femme fatale and the
had the badass
ninja
chick
chick
in the
and
group. Yeah,
yeah, always something, beautiful. You had the formula. We all stray from the formula eventually and create our own stuff. At least you hope you stray from the formula because otherwise you're just, making stuff that already happened. But
right,
to regard the state of the industry, I don't really pay much mind to what's going on with Marvel and DC these days. As a reader, as a creator, and I'll put it to you like this: I've seen these 80-year-old characters be, you know, start retcon, reorigin, backs broken, deaths, whatever. All these things happen, and then you get, the people getting pissy about woke stuff and stuff like that. You see all these things change in the industry, and frankly, I mean, the people get pissed about woke stuff. Just get over yourself. And the reason I
yeah,
say that is because these books aren't written for us anymore. These books
no,
are written for other people. They're written for younger generations. They're written for their contemporary life. And then when people
right,
get pissy about the state of the industry, that being the reason for decline, I'm just going to go ahead and just jump a way bit backwards and say, what about video games? What about video games? The day you had to stop reading the comic and you could be in the comic and play those characters was the day that the comic book industry completely changed. That's my opinion.
oh
Take
yeah,
it or leave it, and that's totally fine. But it's just like if you want, now comics are like a farming area that you can harvest to get great stories for other media.
right,
And that's really what Marvel and DC are doing at this point. Is they're just harvesting material to make new media, whether it's animated feature films, TV shows, or whatever else they're doing. That's what they're doing. I mean, look at Star Wars for crying out loud. Star Wars three was trilogies of movies, then turned into one-off movies. Now it's turned into TV shows. More TV shows for Star Wars than there ever were films at this point. You know what I
right,
mean? So you're always looking at different media, and I think that you look at Marvel and DC are doing what they're doing in their cinematic universes, and I think that's just great. If and go do it. Go make yours. Go entertain the masses and have a great time. But then you see other streaming services and networks looking at indie comics and saying, okay, now we've got, all this new material out there that no
right,
one's seen, that there's no room to argue because, well, it's not my Batman, or it's not this, or it's not that, or you ruined my childhood, or whatever. No, no, it's fresh material. It's fresh
right.
material. I might get on a soapbox here. Don't care. Doing it. It's
Go
like
for it.
it's fresh material where you can introduce a new audience to a new IP and get it out there into the universe. I mean, like I look at what I'm doing with Bigfoot Knows Karate as a comic book. Yes, first and foremost. But what is my goal? My goal is to try and get to new media. Whether it's and video games would be something, but like I'm not a gamer, so that's not really where my mind goes. It's animation. For me, it's just
Right,
animation where that's where I see it. And so that's where I see the marketplace. See that the marketplace is shrinking, but there's opportunity for your IP is greater if because outside of comics, if you push it far enough. I mean, end of days could be a total streamer service, uh, live action show. You know what I mean? End of days could totally do that, and
Right.
it would be intriguing, and it would grab people's attention, and because it does have aspects of things that we've seen, and it has the historical fiction, and it has the history, just the straight history of it. There's so many things you can play with, and that's exciting, that's interesting, that's cool. Bigfoot doing martial arts, fighting, Kung Fu Thulu and Asterion the Minotaur and, Chupacabra with a shotgun. It's just different, it's just different. And so I look forward to the day that I can get the book into the hands of something else. But in the meantime, we're going to kick ass and make some comic books along the way. And hopefully, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? And then hopefully, grab people's attention, get it, and, with the support we've received thus far from people who have backed the comic or just follow the project online or whatever, thank you, because you make it possible for myself and for Casey and for Adam and, on our team and every other creator that we know. You guys make it possible for this to happen. So whether you're buying comics in the store, you're buying them on crowdfunding, the state of comics, is shifting, it's changing,
It
and
really
we
is.
gotta roll. We gotta roll with that. Otherwise, we're gonna get stuck in the past, being bitter creators who missed their opportunity or feel like it's somebody else's fault. We didn't get where we wanted to go. No, no.
Yeah.
We move forward. We trudge forward. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. That's my state of the industry. So how
Well,
long?
dude, you
17
finished
minutes?
my whole thought there. You took it and run with it. That's exactly where I was going. With the big two kind of doing their thing, it's really
Yeah,
opened the door for an indie revolution again. You know,
absolutely.
and
We had the
it's almost like the perfect storm. Between where social media is now and Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I mean, it's really the perfect storm for independent creators to get their IP out there. You know,
Yeah, yeah. There's no, and because of things like Kickstarter and Instagram and X or Twitter or what the hell you want to call that,
whatever
TikTok,
it is today. Yeah,
whatever it is, we have a distribution system in Kickstarter that we didn't have back when I was first doing comics. It was literally you
man,
make a comic, you take it to a con. You make a comic, you take it to a con. You go and run off that comic on a convention circuit for a while. You'll make more comics and take them to the con. You know what I mean? And it's
right,
like that's how you would do it, and that's how you get some recognition, and that's how you get audience, and that's how you would lose money. I mean, because back then, I mean, like I think the indie comics community is kinder to the creator these days because of social media and getting to know us, that they
right,
understand that this shit's expensive. Okay, I mean, this is a very expensive thing for us to do. Whether it's costing us time or money. I mean, comics are not cheap to print. Comics
yeah,
aren't cheap to make. I mean, if you're a fair creator and you're paying your people a worthy, pay rate, I mean, then it costs a bit to do this. So
exactly,
we have to charge a certain premium for the book in order to make it worth their while. 10 years ago, you can charge more than $5 a book for a comic book. You get
right,
you get booed out of the building. And so what does that mean? Full color comic costs you $2.30 back then to print. You got to sell it for $5. Shut up. Because once you pay your artist, there's nothing left. There's
right.
nothing left. You know what I mean? And so it's like, so, like with Bigfoot number one and two, I'm just drawing it myself. I can afford me. You know what I mean? I can
Exactly.
afford
Yeah.
me, but it's like, when you're working with another artist, you've got bills to pay and all that stuff. But it's still because the audience understands that we're working to bring them new content, new material, stuff that they all enjoy, something different from the typical superhero comics and that sort of thing. They back it, they support it. They know you try and do everything in your power to stay true to your word on delivery dates and things like that. I mean, you
Right.
have to, you got to give them that. They earned it, they deserve it. You know what I mean? And it's
Exactly.
yeah. So anyway, I mean, that's what we're I mean, so I'm grateful for the way that social media has allowed them to get to know us. And I'm grateful the way that Kickstarter has allowed us to sell comics all over the world. I mean, I've shipped
Right.
comics to South Korea, I've shipped comics to Australia,
Yeah.
I mean, all over the world. What up? I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing, not just selling to the people in Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like I can really get out there and branch out. And now it's given us, given at least me such a jolt that now I fly to conventions. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, we can grow the audience a little bit faster by going up to the East Coast or going to the West Coast or, wherever else we can get
Right.
hands on. So it's like, yay, and then you get to meet, get to meet readers and fans and make new readers and fans and, and get to meet other creators that you've only known online. And hell yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, you can't beat it, man. I mean, we're basically, like you were talking, we're building our own brands. We're
Yep.
fleshing our own thing out. We don't
Yep.
publishers are getting to be really a thing of the past. I mean, we're really, I mean, publishers are still needed, but I mean, you know what I'm
Sure.
saying? You through Kickstarter and all these independent printers and stuff like that. I mean, just about anybody, if they've got the want to and the willpower to see it to the end, can make a book, and get it
You
out
can
there.
see out your dreams. You can totally see out your dreams without having a publisher, without having a distributor. You can do this on your own. I mean, they've been doing it since the 70s, 80s, with the black and white explosion in the 80s, and then, Image, just spawned so many different small publishers out there. And then they shrivel
Right.
away. And then now you're seeing, and I really do credit the pandemic, the lockdowns for a
Oh, yeah,
lot of new creativity.
definitely.
I hate that I have to cite the pandemic because we lost so many great people during that, and it's
Yeah.
hard to look at that time as a positive, but it would be disrespectful to all the creators and stuff who came out during lockdown and all the different readers who came out during lockdown and supported a new wave of creators.
Right.
And and then some creators have fallen off since because life went back to normal and that sort of thing. To be expected and completely respect that.
Yeah.
But now you've got the people who stuck it out. You know what I mean? And are still creating, and it's like it's great to see who's lasting and who keeps
Right.
going.
The
And
herd is definitely thinned over the last couple of
uh,
years.
sure,
You've seen
sure.
who's really serious about this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's and right on, dude. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
how it's gonna go. But you can't think of everybody as competition.
No.
You're
God,
only going to kick your own ass, into an imposter syndrome, coma. You know what I mean? It's gonna you'll kill yourself if you keep doing that.
right.
You got to have fun with this. It's the only way it works. It's the only way it
God,
works.
man.
It's the only way you can make a quality project. It's the only way you're going to make it through the industry. It's the only way. That's just my opinion. You got to prop
When
each
it
other up.
becomes work, kind of, what's the fucking point anymore? If you don't have
Absolutely.
any joy in it anymore, I mean, that's why I can remember being a kid and picking up my first comic book, and I was like, "Oh wow, what is this? This
Oh
is what
yeah.
I want to do." And I keep going back to it, but say when I was a kid, I followed these artists, because that was my thing. Yeah, I followed books, but I had certain artists I looked for their work, and
Oh
to
yeah.
be able to meet those guys, that was like, I it seemed like an impossibility. But through what we're doing now and social media and all this other stuff, I love talking to the people that back my books or continue to support me. It's amazing. That's what gives me the fuel to keep wanting to do this. Just talking with these people and seeing the joy that I've been able to bring to people through these stories. and it
Absolutely.
just it lights it up for me, you know. And I know
No,
you
it
feel the
feels good.
same way. Any creator
Yeah.
worth his own salt. That's why we do this, you know.
Well, it sucks to work in a it sucks to work in a vacuum.
Right,
I mean, that's just, some people are happy to just make their little thing and do the thing and, and just put it to the side. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not Kilgore Trout. You know what I mean? Like
right,
I want the work that I do to be seen
exactly.
and grow that audience as much as you can. It's sorry, it's validating. It really is, I mean, that's the truth. And to get people to read it and see it. And, as an artist, it's cool when people get the comic and they flip to the comic. Oh, that's super cool. And then they go
Right.
put it back in the bag and put it away. And the writer in me goes, book, read the book. You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Read the
saying?
fucking book.
Read the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Um, but it's, but I mean, it's their money. They spend it on how they can
Yeah.
enjoy it however they want. It's the same people who like buy the book and they just go, I'm putting this, I'm gonna have you sign it. I'm just gonna put it away and let it make money for me. I'm like, yeah,
Killed
you're never gonna
me.
see a dime on that, pal. But but hey, your book, your thing.
Yeah.
Collectors and readers are very different creatures. You know what
They
I
really
mean?
are.
Collectors and creatures are very different. Readers are very different creatures. And I've been a collector and I've been a reader,
I'm
and
both. You know, I'm
yeah,
I'm
I'm a
I'm a
reader.
huge
I'm a
fan.
reader these days. Yeah, I'm a reader these days. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who, when he gets indie comics, like I'll read the indie comic and then I'll give the indie comics away to my friends, kids and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, or my friends. They'll be like, "What do you got?"
Yeah.
I'll just hand them books because, frankly, if I have any more of these things, I've got books everywhere. My wife's like, so much shit. I'm like, I know, I'll give some out. And
Hey, do you get
save
that
what I
look
want to keep.
when the mail comes and you've got that Gemini box in there? She's like, another
Yeah,
one? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she
You
gets the
get that
mail.
look,
She gets the
man. You know
mail and
which
goes,
look
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about.
She gets the mail. She's got it in her arm. She goes, "This is yours." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Thanks." And I open it up, and she just looks at me. I'm like, "What? What? I don't even know what you're talking about. What?
Yeah,
You know?"
exactly.
And then we have this discussion of, "I thought you were going on I thought you were going on a Kickstarter diet." I did. Now I'm off the diet. And
Yeah.
something came out, and I just couldn't say no to. I'm like, "Oh, I need this. I need
Right.
this." So anyway,
There's
it
so
happened.
much incredible stuff out there, man. It's hard to. The only way you just have to stay off Kickstarter because
Uh-huh.
every time you go on there, you're going to find something that grabs your eye and makes you dive in and say, "Oh yeah, I got to see this. I gotta read this."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So tell
It's
me
one
this:
I can say.
while we're on Kickstarter,
Sure.
um, what are your thoughts on the big creators that jumping, kind of doing side projects from their books on, say, at the Big Two or Image or something like that, and releasing side projects on Kickstarter and Indiegogo? Go. What do you think about that?
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, it's nothing to do with me. If you have an audience and you can take them over to one of those crowdfunding platforms, go take them to the crowdfunding platform. Go make yours. I
right.
mean, that's the thing. I love it. I think it's great, but it affects me in not the slightest. I think that when people complain about it, it's like, really, they're like, well, they shouldn't be here because they already have, this, that, and the other. That's why they should be here, because they have this, that, and the other, and they want to make more money than just a pay rate over at Marvel or DC.
Right.
I mean, they want ownership of their projects, just like we want ownership of our projects. All they have over us is a lot more fans and a lot more credit, and to their a lot more credits to
Well,
their
they put
name.
the work in.
They put the
They
work
started
in,
right where we are, and built
absolutely,
their
and
built their thing.
why should they have to go to Image or or one of these other publishers to put a book out? I mean, we've talked about the direct market. We haven't talked about that yet, but distributions. Stores aren't what they used to be. Distribution's not what it used to be.
Right.
You got Diamond and Lunar and all these people fighting it out right now and all of that. Foot traffic in comic book stores is, it is what it is. I'm sure it's good in some markets and poor in others. But but why pay Diamond a percentage of your book when you don't have to, when you can go directly to the
Exactly.
consumer through Kickstarter, pay a much less percentage to Kickstarter than you ever would over at Diamond or Lunar or whatever to get it into stores, hoping, hoping that people will buy the book. It's not a they did it on a pre-order maybe, or they just asked their LCS to carry the book for them. You can go to Kickstarter, you can go to Indiegogo, you can put your project out there and they back it immediately. Money in your hand, project in their hands. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
I
Well,
mean,
so
like, and then I look at like Coffin Comics, that does Lady Death and all that,
oh
and
man,
their marketing
they've got it going on.
they got to sit down to a science. I look at different, major creators who go on there. Hell, I look at people like Pat Shand, who is just a Kickstarter creator. Guy's making $100,000 a campaign. Good for him. Good for
Yeah.
him. It's incredible.
I mean, they're putting the work in anyway. And like
Yeah.
you said earlier, you hear a lot of people gripe and bitch about this though. That's why I wanted to bring it up and get your thoughts on it. But you
Good.
nailed it earlier when you said this is not a competition. It's not. You know, that's what people need to get out of their heads. Hey, somebody launches butt farts butt plug, and it makes $200,000. Hey, I'm happy for them,
Absolutely.
fantastic, because
You know,
it's bringing attention to indie. It's not hurting you. That's what you need to understand. The more audience they bring in, that's more people on there that have a chance at stopping by and seeing your work. It's not a
absolutely.
competition.
When Keanu Reeves did that Berserker book a couple years ago, people were up in arms.
Yeah.
Oh, Keanu Reeves by Kickstarter. Oh, and you know how many people were stoked about that book?
Oh
How
God,
many
yeah,
people who probably went to Kickstarter that would never go to Kickstarter for that book?
exactly.
For him,
Never
man,
even heard of
and
Kickstarter, though.
never
That
even heard of it, but they went
yeah,
over there and they created accounts. And then in all
right,
those accounts, they get a email that comes out afterwards. You like Berserker, you might like this. You know,
exactly.
Yep. So good for Keanu, good for the industry, I think. I can't hurt. But then you got people who complain about they put it on Kickstarter, then they put it in stores. All I'm gonna say to that is once you put it out on if you put it on Kickstarter, you better offer something different than you offer in the stores. The store book should be
Yeah,
a trimmed down, slimmed down, just the story, and then everything you get on Kickstarter should be above and beyond because sucks to
right,
pay 10, $15 for a comic you can buy in the store for $4.99 or something like that. So
exactly.
just make it more so, make it better, make
Make
it
it special.
exclusive, make it special, make it exclusive. And then when you put the book out into the audience on and through distribution to the stores, they're getting something that fits the price point and doesn't screw your backers. There
Right,
you go.
you nailed it. And man, I think that's the best point to end this thing. So before we
All
do
right.
though, I want you to plug everything, dude. I've
All
kept
right.
I've kept the banner down here the whole time, but you tell everybody where they can follow you, all your socials, um, anything you want to plug, man. Just shoot, unload on them.
All right. Can you put up my name back on the screen? Because my handle's on the screen. Is that possible? There you go.
There we
So
go.
you can go to Danomite139, DANOMYTE 139, and you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Twitter. What else? Something else probably. Oh, Threads, but I never use that. And you can find me on. Well, nobody else does either.
Uh,
So it's like a ghost town over there. You see the tumbling tumbleweeds. Anyway,
yeah,
so anyway, so you can find me over at really Instagram's the best place to find me. Dynamite139. You can also go to bigfootknowskarate.com, where you can find links to back issues over at lesserknowncomics.com, as well as a link to the Kickstarter from Bigfoot Knows Karate Hinagon that is currently happening on Kickstarter. And I said that in the same sentence twice. But yeah, go over there and check out the campaign. Digital comics, all the starting at $4, digital catch ups for 12, regular physical editions at $8 to all the way to like 25 for the foil. So there's a lot of options there for you. Get commissions, get the championship belt. I wish I had it on me so I could show you, but I didn't bring it downstairs because that's ridiculous. And but yeah, check it out if you like black and white artwork, you like a action adventure, you want to see a good monster of the week story, then check out Hinagon. If you are a reader of the book currently of the main storyline, check this out too because it's going to have a nice little twisty ending on there just for you. So new readers can check it out, old readers can jump right in. So definitely check it out. Bigfoot Knows Karate Hinagon, live on Kickstarter until Friday, 7 p.m. So yeah.
All right. Well, man, it's a privilege to know you, Dan, and an honor to call you my friend.
Absolutely,
Thank you
Harry.
so
Same
much
back
for
to
being
you.
on the show. Hey guys, get out there and back this book. Back this book. Everything you're gonna need to know. The link will be in the description. It'll take you straight to it. Then it's up to you to just get on there. Support this guy, and you're gonna get a great story, and you're gonna get some fucking kick-ass artwork. You can't go wrong. Go back and get the older titles too. If you're new to it, it's an amazing story. You'll love it. Jump on it. Get on it now. We're gonna jump off. It was awesome to have you guys watching us. Tell everybody, tell everybody about Bigfoot Knows Karate Hinagon. And you guys back this book. Tell all your friends about comics and sweet tea. And hey, support the show. It doesn't cost a thing to sub. So sub, ring that bell so you get the notifications. Every Wednesday night, I'm going to be bringing you another creator, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And with that, you guys have a blessed one. And thanks for watching.